guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Maxine, and today I'm talking about all of my favorite pieces and trends that I noticed on the fall winter 23 runways. There was just so much good stuff, and I feel like we need to unpack. Okay, first one I want to touch on, they're kind of separate themes, but they tie into the same thing for me. So it's lace, sheer, and cutouts. Gucci always do a really cool sheer piece, and I love this cutout skirt with like little teardrop cutout. I thought it was really clever in creating kind of like an almost like sheer effect, like you can see through, but then you can't because there's a sheer lining under it. I just love the cutouts. It's giving Cruella, but like 1920s Cruella about to hit the dance floor. I loved the sparkly sheer. I feel like that is just so chic and so cute. I love this blouse with the flower motifs, and I loved it with the tie. I feel like it was just such a cool look. Miu Miu and Prada you can count on for like the coolest sheer pieces. I thought this look here from Miu Miu was just so cute, and the cardigan was sheer and the top was sheer, so it's just like layering of sheer and it creates this like shadowy effect. I think it's so pretty. On the topic of sheer and cutouts, we need to talk about Glenn Martens. He, in my opinion, is one of the coolest designers of our modern day time. We need to talk about his diesel collections because the pieces were essentially like worn denim. Like it looked torn, it looked as if it had like the cutouts, the pieces missing. He has created something here where it's like, it's got the cutout. These looks here where they have the worn, distressed looking denim, and then it kind of just like fades into this panel of sheer mesh, and it also has a luster to it. So it creates like a luxurious feel, like a luxurious effect where normally it would be kind of like trashy and like worn and tattered. I just think it was so clever and it was so beautiful. Acne featured a lot of cutouts and a lot of that like tattered, kind of distressed look, which I'll touch on in another little segment. But the cutouts in their collection gave me kind of like a woodland creature vibe. I love a bit of sheer, and I love how they layer their sheer pieces. I think it creates such like a fun, ethereal, playful vibe. I'm obsessed with the bottom half of this look, like the draping. I think sheer fabrics look so magical when you layer them together. Paco Rabanne also featured cutouts in the collection, but they've done it in a way that is so like elegant. I feel like cutouts is something when featured in a garment, you can really like miss the mark. If they're not the right size and if they don't have the right placement, I feel like it can really go the opposite way. But the way they've done these cutouts in these dresses, I feel like is so elegant. They're very, very subtle and minimal. I thought it was so beautiful. I love this one here, how it drapes across the neckline and you can see her collarbones. I think it's really beautiful. And we also all love the iconic Paco Rabanne like chain, and they've created this like chainmail dress. And by linking all these little pieces, they've essentially created a sheer garment, but instead of created with something really delicate and light, it's created with this like harsh, metallic, loud, chunky material. I love when like things are not what they're meant to be. I think it's really cool. Let's talk about green. Green had a real moment. That like bottle green, the Bottega bottle green that we saw everywhere. I feel like people thought it's gonna be a trend color, it'll disappear. But there was so much green on the runway. I also loved, but it was like an exploration of green. There was so many different shades and colors, different fabrications. I just thought it was so fun. Gucci had this crazy fluffy green jumper and paired it with a red bag. And normally those colors just don't work together in my opinion. Like it gives me Christmas vibes, but this just looked so cool. I would 100% wear this jumper. Bottega had this really beautiful look. It has this embroidered lacy sheer embellishment across it all. These Valentino bags, tick. I loved the metallic green one and also the matte green one. Miu Miu had those really crazy sequins panties, which I feel like are just so cool. Not sure I would wear them. It's a little bit too out there for my style. I think I'm a little bit more conservative. They also had quite a few olive green pieces. In particular, I love this coat. You guys know I'm all about the olive green at the moment, and I highly suggest if you are looking for a green piece to add into your wardrobe, olive green is probably a safe one, and it's also so fun and a little bit more timeless. Another designer who really ran with the green theme this year was Givenchy. I loved their green looks on the runway this year. In particular, this bag was screaming out to me. I love it. I love the shape and I love how low it hangs on the shoulder. And another thing that I'm really loving about this all green look is that it's monochrome, but it's playing with texture and different shades of the color. I think that's just like ultimate cool vibes. If it's one solid color with lots of different textures and like subtle changes in shade and tone and tint. As you guys know, we love a monochrome look. Loewe had this really beautiful olive green bag. Again, it's a lot more timeless. I feel like olive green looks great with like metallic hardwares. I just think it's so chic. Saks pots do green so well, and I love this two-piece set. Also love the fabrication. It's giving moss-covered rock. and I want to wear it. I was quite obsessed with this Jill Sander look. Again, playing with the same color but different textures and patterns. Color blocking with it essentially, like a large block of solid color, large block of pattern. I think it's so effective and it looks so good. And then this one was more of a muted green, like more of a pale minty green. And this coat in this fluffy color, I was just actually obsessed with it. I'm really loving the pale muted tones and colors lately. I feel like distressed fabrics and garments were so apparent across the board. It was just crazy to the point where like some of the pieces look like they're broken, but the fact that they're like a luxury garment and that you would pay a luxury, like a designer price for it for a piece that looks like it's broken is just so crazy to me. And it kind of is exciting to see how far we can push the boundaries of fashion and trends and like what people will wear and will pay for to wear. Glenn Munns is a god when it comes to pushing the boundaries with like a certain fabrication. For example, denim. Across Y Project and Diesel, I feel like he really explored all of the uses for denim, and I loved all the distress looks he created. This one here in particular was this dress where he's taken like denim and like shredded it almost. Kind of looks like it's been shredded and frayed and then used it to create the like bones of this dress and then fill in the gap with this sheer fabric, and it's just so delicate and beautiful, and like you wouldn't normally think delicate when you think of denim, and I just think it's so cool that he's created this whole different universe of denim and the uses of denim. A lot of the pieces on Diesel Runway had that like worn, tattered, almost destroyed look to them. I think one of the reasons why it looks so cool is that it's so extreme, like it's on purpose, it's exaggerated, and I feel like another trend across all of the runways was this like exaggerated vibes, like whether it's the silhouette is exaggerated or the effect. And normally you'd have like a couple of rips in a garment, whereas this one is just like covered head to toe in rips. Almost looks like it's destroyed, but it isn't. These pieces here were like, there's just like tiny pieces of fabric joined by really thin chains, almost as if the garment is falling to pieces. Butter yellow. I'm telling you now, guys, butter yellow. I feel like I saw a lot of on the runway. I loved every single piece that I saw. I think this color is something that will work so well in a neutral wardrobe, but also in a colorful wardrobe. This Bottega look, these boots need to enter my wardrobe, just magically appear here because they're so stunning. And I love this color in that woven leather. I think it's just so chic. Bottega in general had some really, really cool textures on the runway, and this piece in particular, this top was stunning. It looked almost like fish scales or like a tree that has those little like mushrooms growing off it. I don't know. It was magical in my opinion, and it looks so textural. I love the shadows that each little piece casts. It's so visually striking. I love it. Prada had some really pretty yellow pieces. I loved this dress so much. This one had a bit more saturation to it. I'm loving it here with this neutral look, but I also think that bag with like a baby blue or baby pink and brown, so cute. Valentino had these bags in the yellow. Loved them. I love them with the hardware as well. It's so cute. Awake Mode had some really cool butter yellow pieces, and playing with this fuzzy fabric, it kind of reminds me of like a kid's blanket, but in this color it kind of works. I'm kind of loving it. Givenchy had this full yellow look, and I am utterly obsessed with it. You guys know monochrome, same color, slight variations in the color. That's everything to me. It's so chic. I love this slouchy Jill Sander bag in the yellow. I think it will age well. I do. They also had this really gorgeous suit. Again, could fit into a neutral and a colorful wardrobe. Butter yellow in leather. Oh my lord, how gorgeous is this outfit? Let's talk about my favorite thing in the world, shoes. One trend across the footwear that I noticed was like a 90s revival. 90s revival in general. There was a lot of like really simple silhouettes, the halter neck vibe, but one of my favorite trends that I noticed was the kitten heel. I love a kitten heel. I haven't worn kitten heels in ages. I've just been going through like a stiletto phase, but now my feet hurt. I'm getting old and I want to be closer to the ground. I love these Miu Miu ones so much. I need them in this maroon color and also this pink color. These ones here from Prada, I think they do no wrong when it comes to kitten heels, and these ones here, yes, they're a bit extra with the whole floral thing on top, but so fun. Would love to add to my collection. These green Givenchy ones, adding to cart immediately. Another footwear trend I noticed was comfy footwear. The Cecily Bunsen show, they were all in like loafers and Asics, and these ones in particular with the little embellishments, they're doing things for me. I think people just want to be fashionable but comfortable. I think like we've gone through a couple of years of being comfortable constantly at home, and then we've come back into the world, gone to all these events, everyone's like crammed everything they missed out on into 1 year. We've had a year of mayhem, and now they're like, okay, it's time to chill, let's look fashionable AF but also be comfortable. That's what I'm thinking, and I will be adding kitten heels and sneakers to collections. I feel like we always love an eclectic shoe, and Loewe really set the bar. These are the ultimate party shoes. They're literally like confetti. I love them. These velvet bow heels, oh my god. These boots from Y Project, again, Glenn Martin's pushing the boundaries. What else can we do with denim? Everything, he says, everything. They are just so cool. I love the like ruffles. I love the buttons. These ones here where they literally, I'm confused if they are the pant or they join into the pant boots, poots, we can call them. Loving them. Diesel also had some really cute boots. Glenn Martin's in general. Love you. These are very simple, but I loved the hardware. Simple and effective. And also these boots from Loewe where it literally looks like someone's pants have fallen down. Like, how fun is that? I'm not sure how I would style them, but I love them nonetheless. Y'all know I love a coat. I love jackets so much. I love winter for that reason. There were some jackets on the runway that I really loved and I just need to share with you. This pink one here from Yusevi, I thought was just simply stunning. And that pink color is really cute. There was quite a few jackets that were this like crazy, fluffy, furry vibe. I love this one from Gucci. It kind of is like jewel tone. It has this yellowy creamy base which like with this like purple in between. It's giving party girl. And I feel like these kinds of coats are also super easy to find in vintage stores, so you don't necessarily have to buy new. You can go to a vintage store and find someone's grandma's crazy coat from the 60s. A lot of designers ran with the whole like exaggerated collars. This one from Gucci was really cool with the really fluffy red collar. I love this one from JW Anderson. It looks like a typical like trench, but then it has this giant leather collar. Exaggerated silhouettes will always be one of my favorite. I feel like obviously it's fall winter, so there's going to be like a lot of coats on the runway, but a lot of people went with this really exaggerated shoulders, exaggerated silhouettes, quite long trailing coats, which are my favorite kind of coat. As I said, cover me head to toe. I love this one from Tokyo James. I think the color is stunning, and also the hardware on there with the little zippers, so fun. Prada had some really great blazers. This red leather one and this pink, it looks like a velvety leather kind of vibe. Suede, yeah, I think it is suede. It looks stunning. Love it. Valentino had some incredible coats. I need to add all to cart or find them in a vintage store. Lookalikes. I need this red one and this yellow one. So good. I also love the length and I love the slouchiness. The slouchy vibes are the vibes for me. I either love super slouchy or super structured. There's no in between. This one here was kind of crazy. This like silky duffel. Kind of looked like something you'd throw on your bed, but you just woke up and draped it around you. This one from Jill Sander, this like pink fuzzy coat. I loved it. Kind of reminded me of the Frankie Shop one, but I do love it nonetheless. And then this one here in this like softer fabric. Love it. It's a monochrome look. Adds to cart immediately. I think I've touched on a lot of coats throughout this whole video, but these two from Givenchy were a favorite, the black and the yellow. This black is just so chic, and I also love that the bottom is not straight square, it's kind of rounded. I think that's a really nice touch. And this super long line draping elegant coat. Adds to cart. Add to cart. And the last thing I want to touch on in this video is bags. The first style that I want to touch on is this long slim pouch that people were like carrying in their hands. Gucci and Valentino, I think like I saw this the most in their collections. We'll be trying to find these on a vintage resale website because I feel like you can find them. The second style of bag that I was like drooling over are these like giant exaggerated oversized slouchy Hoboken bags. I loved this shoulder one from Bottega so much. Also these like super oversized Loewe bags. Again, like super exaggerated. We love the drama. This one here wasn't as exaggerated, but it's still like quite a slouchy bag. The reason I love them, I think they're so chic, but they're also so practical. I'm the kind of person who brings the whole kitchen sink with me. Like if you need something, I'll have it in my bag, but I can't have everything in my bag if it doesn't fit in my bag. So one thing I definitely want to be adding to my wardrobe are a little bit bigger, oversized bags that fit more in them. I think they're chic and very practical. And I do think you'd be able to easily find this in a vintage store. I already touched on this, but this Givenchy one, this shoulder Givenchy bag, loved it. Throughout like the whole season, I feel like there was that juxtaposition of either super structured, tailored, sharp lines, and then contrasted with super slouchy. And I think the juxtaposition of the two is really fun. Like you could go from either. I'm loving both, probably leaning more towards the slouchy vibes at the moment. And I also love a oversized bag held under the arm. Just looks very like effortless, you know, I love it. Chanel had some really cute ones too. I really love this little rose. Miu Miu had a few oversized like pouch kind of bags that were crossbody. Again, like a little bit more of a practical kind of bag, and I think that's what we're leaning more towards now. We're moving into like the practicality. Like I said, we've had a whole year of partying post-pandemic, and now we're like, okay, cool, we're gonna look chic AF, we're gonna look like fashion girls, but we're also going to be practical. So all about the practicality. Anyway, guys, that is all I have for you today. I think that went longer than I thought because I rambled. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts on what your favorite pieces from the fall winter runways were, or if you had a favorite piece in this video, let me know. I'm definitely gonna be on the hunt for some comfy shoes, slouchy bags, slouchy vibes in general, slouchy chic vibe. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!